Well, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I thought I'd start a little bit sooner. Happy New Year, guys. I know it's not Happy New Year yet, but never mind. What are we going to expect in 2025, man? Today's live stream is all about you guys. You know, we're just going to have a look at what's going on with Bitcoin, but I will say there's something fishy going off with the Federal Reserve right now, and I need to talk to you about it. So if you're just passing through, stick around for that, because it's going to be very interesting, and it's pretty much justifying why Bitcoin's probably making this move to the upside. So you're probably all getting up right now in the morning. What time is it? Yeah, it's 20 to 2 in the UK. It's 20 to 9 in the morning, US time. Mad love for everyone passing through. And you want to know what's going on with Bitcoin. Well, in this live, I'm going to give you a price projection for Bitcoin in 2025. It's not going to be a massive one. We're going to be realistic. Ain't no $19 million Bitcoin in 2049. None of that. We're realistic with our expectations. So if you are new, welcome to the live stream. We're going to dive straight into it. I've got a couple of trades on with Bitcoin and Ethereum. So we're going to be monitoring those bad boys right now and how I took those trades, utilizing the hybrid system. So if you are new, stick around for that, ladies and gentlemen. But what am I going to tell you about this repo story? Yeah, what do you mean repo, Tina? What's that about? What do you mean repo? What, repossession? No, ladies and gentlemen, nothing at all like that. I'm talking about this. Over the next few days, from the 30th of December to the 3rd of January, you're going to see some volatility, or the impact of it will happen once the markets will all return. Courtesy of Finance a Lot, says here that the Federal Reserve is pumping $500 billion of repo liquidity into the banking system over the next 4 days, then pulling it away. Why would you do that? Why would you be pumping liquidity now? Well, it's a number of things. Liquidity. Is there an issue in the banks that we don't know about? Is it because the end of year? Trying to work out their taxes? What's the story? Because what this means is the Federal Reserve is going to be buying treasuries or securities and then selling them at a later date at a higher price. Okay? So this liquidity injection is coming into the marketplace. Ladies and gentlemen, go long on Bitcoin. Forget it. That's it. Go long. Jokes aside. This is important for us because we're going to be able to understand if people were fully aware of this actually happening, and we might actually see a benefit from this going into the start of 2025. Whenever they do cash injections, guys, it always helps the market, especially Bitcoin. So let's go and have a look at what we're talking about right now. Bitcoin. Bitcoin's been behaving itself. As it stands right now, guys, I'm currently in these two trades. And the first trade I'm in is, I'm doing really well with this trade. Got a nice return here. Got $13,788 on this trade with Bitcoin. I caught a wonderful entry at 92,686. The current price is at 95,523. And then on Ethereum, we got an entry at 33.46 and current price is at 34.18. So we got quite a good entry point on both Ethereum and Bitcoin, and we're currently sitting around $23,000 worth of profit on both these trades. I do use a relatively decent amount of leverage, but when I see these big moves happen in my position, I then say to myself, right, I'm ready to take profit. But I'm giving it a little bit more freedom because Bitcoin is trading quite significantly away from my entry point, okay? Now, looking at Bitcoin's price action, correlating to the idea of what's going on here, maybe this is starting to come into fruition. Why? Well, first things first, we've got to go over to the bonds. Are they buying securities? That would make sense right there because the bonds market's moving up. Secondly, what's the yields doing? 2-year yield is currently coming down. That's good news for the stock market. It means investors are grabbing yield. Thirdly, you got the 10-year yield. That's also coming down. That is great news, right? What else? Volatility index, that's coming down. When this goes down, prices go up. When this goes up, prices go down. So can we assume that there's going to be some more flavor to the upside with Bitcoin and the volatility index comes down? Are investors actually jumping onto the bandwagon of what is going on with this? I mean, you got guys like this who are slating Bitcoin saying, yeah, things going to burst. It's going to be pointless, which leads me over to this projection that I have with Bitcoin. Why am I getting that call right now? Anyways, check this out. I want you to go over to the daily time frame. This 50 EMA is very important for Bitcoin, okay? If this repo story and this cash injection that we're going to be getting over the next few days and the effect of it going into the start of the market next week. So if you go look at it, the calendar says that from the 2nd of January, we still have a bank holiday, but we get the unemployment claims. And then the week after, such on the January the 6th, we have crazy amounts of data coming out. Perfect time, isn't it, guys? Perfect time to pump the markets. Get the liquidity in preparation for all this data that's due to come out. Right? Now, this is where my head's at with Bitcoin. The monthly candle finishes today, guys. And in 10 hours and 14 minutes, we're going to know if Bitcoin has the capacity to show worth and try and take claim even further prices to the upside. I said to you all yesterday, Bitcoin needs to do this, and it's getting very close to doing it now. We need this candle to finish positive. If this candle can finish positive today, that would mean, well. This is interesting. If this candle finishes positive today and starts to claim above the 99,000, even if it goes above this point here at 96, we have got a good promise of Bitcoin heading towards the 100K zone. Now, you have got people saying that Bitcoin's done and that it's going to roll over. It's going to go to the 70K mark and all that fun and games. Now, what you've got to understand is that if Bitcoin does roll over, the only signs that you need to pay attention to, if that's going to be the case, is if Bitcoin is going to lose the 85 mark. Bitcoin has to lose the 85K point. Otherwise, it's all systems go. So my projection for 2025, I'm giving you the first quarter of 2025. I expect Bitcoin to clear 115 in 2025, the first quarter. Okay. Now from here, that would mean Bitcoin would need to jump up roughly around 20%. That's a realistic expectation. If you go down to the daily time frame itself, you can see that if that idea is going to come into play, Bitcoin in principle will be holding the 50 EMA. If this daily candle closes as aggressively as it is right now, in line with these candlesticks here, closing above the last 1, 2, 3, 4 days worth of candles, the logic says that this would be a thrust. It would be a move away from the zone. We only need that candle to turn into a green vector candlestick, ladies and gentlemen, and that would seal it for me. Why? Because that would be one vector candle at the 50 EMA. And whenever they did that last time, boy, it started to move. There was a repercussions from that. And then they did it from here and they never turned back. Okay? Any questions so far? Any questions so far? So good. When Bitcoin it's a cycle high, it crashes hard quickly and it has been weeks. So bull run is not over. The bull run, listen, even from, regardless of the perspective of where you look at it from, even the cycle, and everyone's asking me, Tina, what about altcoins and what have you? Bitcoin up, everything up. That's the truth. Okay, because no one's going to be selling their Bitcoin to put it into altcoins other than guys in cryptocurrency. Now you can see BlackRock has actually managed to load up a little bit more Bitcoin. 551,000 now. It was 550,000. So they're doing all right. I think I'm seeing it. Here we go. Well, they sold 176 Bitcoin, but Yeah, they've only taken a little bit of a sale on that one, so that's all good. But nothing too concerning. But there is quite a few outflows going into Bitcoin right now on the ETF. But to be honest with you, unless this balance drops down significantly, I'm not interested in anything, in the sense where I don't expect Bitcoin to go down or the ETF as such. But like I said to you, as long as this 50 EMA holds, the logic is we're going up towards this violet vector candle. And then from that point, we'll probably see resistances, and then it will stay inside of this zone and repeat the same behavior as it did over here. Okay. And then Bitcoin will then try and claim the 115,000 within the first quarter of 2025. That's my projection on Bitcoin. Okay. Man, this is going crazy right now. This is going absolutely crazy. Okay, so we're doing all right on our trade right now. I would be compelled to close this, but I've got a feeling that they're going to try and hit 100K today. I just feel as though that's going to be the case. But like I said, I don't trust the markets. I never trust the markets. And they can always just do the dirty. Looking at exo charts, just to understand where I am in terms of liquidity, I can see the idea that they are going to work higher, because I've got this 4-hour candle here. And this is something that I always look at when I'm trading on exo charts. Well, I don't trade on it. I just use it for understanding order flow as such. The first thing that I like to do is I like to look at the order flow imbalances. These are imbalances, these little lines right here. I don't know if you can see them. But what I've done here is I've marked off key areas in the chart that tell me where the previous bids came in. So logic would say that if the bids are there, that means those guys are going to be making a return as it comes back in towards that point. Now, you might say, hold on a second, Tino, it's already been there over here, and it's been there over here. What if they've already taken profit? Well, what if they haven't? We don't know fully, but the only way that we can understand it is if we don't see the presence of the same number of bids that you've got here. These are bids. If you don't see those bids over here, then that means that everything is looking like it's going to continue higher. Bear with me a second, ladies and gentlemen. Mike, how can I help you? Happy New Year. I'm just live right now, my friend. I know. I thought I'd go a little bit early because Bitcoin's starting to make a bit of a move. Happy New Year from Mr. Mike Dutch, ladies and gentlemen. Mad love to Mike Dutch. He's saying Happy New Year, so come on, say it back. He'll probably be in the live in the next few minutes. Happy days. See you in a bit, man. Are we cool? Margin call. Yeah, so this ExoChart story right here is helping me understand how likely they're going to go from one zone to the next by the order of the bids. So here we go. What have we got here? Look at all these offers. Now, this move to the upside does look like it's a run for liquidity. It really does look like it. But I've got... my concern is I'm not really seeing that many offers. That's the problem now. I've got an offer right here of 19 million at 95,950 that they haven't even taken. That is an absolute joke. Not really much. 15 million at 97. Here we go. It's just updated. Right. Okay. So they still haven't taken that liquidity. 95,950. I do believe that this move is going to continue to the upside. That's why I'm still compelled to hold on to this trade. Okay. Still doing good on the trade, both Ethereum and Bitcoin. And the reason I took this trade, guys, and this is part of the hybrid system. Okay. Now, if you go down here, I always say to everyone, always wait for the green and blue vector candles to appear at the lows. Okay. This was the Asian session. All right. Now, it's on the 1 minute time frame. You're not really going to be seeing it too clearly. Okay. But you can see there is a collection of green and blue vector candles on the 1 minute time frame. Okay. Go to the 5 minute time frame and you can see that what they've done is the green and blue vector candles at the lows. I always say this to every single platinum member. If you're going to look for V-shaped reversals, always look for the green and wait for the green and blue vector candles after a move to the downside has happened. Because if they're doing more of something and not following through with it, it means they're preparing for something else. If they've dropped price down and then they're keeping it sideways and they're not going down, what are they preparing for? They're preparing for it to go up. That's the logic right here. The simplicity of the hybrid system is just that. It's just about finding the right spot. We had an aggressive vector-to-vector move yesterday with Bitcoin. It collapsed yesterday. And just in time for the Asian session, they then created the green and blue vector candles. They started to mark up. That's where I got my entry from. And what can you see? The first green vector candle above the 50 EMA occurred right there, ladies and gentlemen, which is roughly around the entry point that I've got on Bitcoin. Where is it? My entry is at 92,686. Go over to Bitcoin. 92,686 is inside of this region right here. 686 right there. Okay. That's where my entry was. Playing the idea of green and blue vector candles. I'm expecting them to come in and present with the idea of them going back into the red, going back into the red vector candle. And that red vector candle was all the way up here. And had I been in the trade, because I did have the trade overnight, okay? Quite frankly, I stayed awake the whole night. You ain't ever catching me sleeping with a trade open. No, I've been awake for nearly 24 hours, ladies and gentlemen, and some. I've stayed awake throughout this whole move, all right? And I was monitoring it, and it was a pain in the backside. But nonetheless, we exploited that on Bitcoin, and we had the same logic coming into play with Ethereum, but Ethereum was a pain in the back because she was taking absolutely forever, and she didn't really have any green and blue vector candles. This is on the 5-minute time frame. You can see here, green vector candle, there's only one. So I was toying between the idea of whether I should hold on to an Ethereum trade, but now she's made the move to the upside, hit the psychological ranges. I need to pay attention now because Bitcoin looks like it's pulling back, but the thing is the pullback is not as aggressive that I expect it to be. I'm just going to pay close attention to that. I need to have a look at this. Yeah. Still got a little bit more movement, but the new 4-hour candle will come into play very shortly at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard. So that's where we are. Oh, gifting memberships. Mad love and respect for those gifted memberships. Thank you very much. Who was that? Who was that? Oh, Mike Dutch, thank you very much. Happy New Year, gang. Here he is. He's woken up. RTB, mad love. No worries, RTB. Thank you. And listen, thank you for everyone else, man. Thank you to everyone. Everyone passing through, watching the live streams all the time. And I'm barking at your heads all day, every day, talking about Bitcoin and where's it going to go and what's it going to do and who cares if it's bearish or bullish, you madness. Quite frankly, we don't care. Okay, we trade movement, guys. We trade logic. We don't care about someone's opinion. Don't even matter about my opinion. Forget the projection on the first quarter of 2025. If it hits it, it hits it. Happy days. As long as it stays above key notable areas, then I don't care what else it does. I don't care what anybody has to say about Bitcoin, even if it is Peter Schiff's, whatever his name is. Yeah, doesn't matter to me. Any questions, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, I'm gonna, ladies and gentlemen, shall we close the trade? Shall we close the trade? Close the trade, $14,400 and $10,804. Shall we close the trade? Shall we close the trade? Yes or no? Shall we close the trade? You know what? I'm going to run a poll. Shall we close the trade? Here we go. Run the poll, run the poll, run the poll. Here we go. Run the poll. Shall we close the trade? Here we go. You better hurry up because this thing's going down. I'm bleeding. 4, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2. I'm waiting for the... 4, 3. Well, you guys aren't filling the poll yet. 261 of you. shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, we're closing it. Happy days. 25K in the bag. Done. My people spoke. I was always going to close it, guys. And even if Bitcoin does decide to shoot up to the upside, it doesn't matter to me. All right. I've been in that trade since last night, so I'm happy. Happy days. Pay yourself. That's the first thing I said, ladies and gentlemen, this morning in the Discord to all the guys, you know, to all the guys in the Discord. We said pay yourselves and a happy new year, man. And that's what it's all about. All right. So if you're managing to exploit some more flavor on Bitcoin, and it can probably still go higher. We got a green vector candle, resistances at the 800 EMA, psychological high. Maybe it was a good time to close the trade. We left a little bit of flavor on the table, but never mind. It's all good. And we didn't even know it was going to go to that point. Happy days. Isn't the monthly candle like a stopping volume candle? Principally, yes, it is. Okay. It is like a stopping volume candle. All right. Some of you might know it in terms of the Japanese candlesticks, like a rickshaw as such, or a doji, a gravestone. Okay. However, the thing is, if this candlestick closes higher and higher, it's no longer a stopping volume candle. All right. If it stays at this point, then it's more than likely going to be a stopping volume candle without it becoming a vector candle as such. Okay. But its structure is consistent with stopping volume. So it's a sweep up to bring it back down again. Right. That's why I'm saying that as long as Bitcoin can stay above 88,000, and that's the truth right there, guys. If Bitcoin can stay above 88,000, then the rally to the upside from this point is sustained. It really is. You've got the low right here, and then you've got the high all the way up here, and you're just working that candlestick range. That's all we're doing. So your projection for the Bitcoin is at 115K. But what about the VIX pump and the stocks crash then? My friend, we're about to get $500 billion pumped into the marketplace. Didn't know that was going to happen. So if that's going to go into the marketplace, that means we got liquidity. That means investors, to be fair with you, my friend, investors have an expectation that the stock market is going to perform really well in the first quarter. They're even talking about the first quarter. The S&P is going to go to 7,000 in the first quarter of 2025. What is going on in the market, man? It's not making sense, is it? You've got household debt to the nines, okay? The debt ceiling is going to be rediscussed yet again. You've got a pending bird flu madness. Repo right here is coming into play. Fed's using money to buy, What's going on? Well, you know the old saying holds true. You ride the gravy train. And that's exactly what we got. So we can sit and think about the crash, and we can invest in it whilst it's potentially preparing itself. You go over to the volatility index, ladies and gentlemen, and you have a look at it from that perspective. The logic says that the volatility index on the daily time frame, if we look at it from that perspective, it looks like it could come back up towards this point, but it's not going to happen just yet. Okay? It will be an event that does that, right? And more importantly, where's my thing? There you go. But they're going to bring it back down. They'll bring it back down. The stock market will go up. Okay? But it is New Year's. Most of the market makers and all the players that be, they're having a little bit of a drink right now. They're on the top shelf. Take that into consideration, ladies and gentlemen. Tino, don't fall through the debt ceiling unless you catch it like falling knives, maybe. Tino, what indicators to look to provide confluence for possible Bank of Japan rate increase on end of January? The hybrid system. That's the only indicator you need. And if you are new to this live stream, ladies and gentlemen, get yourself over to the Traders Reality website. We do have a discount on the Platinum membership where you get the Platinum trade setups, which the guys technically should have caught this move to the upside on Bitcoin from this morning's update. You get master classes. You get live trade videos that I record. and the market watch, which is a market outlook. But it's going to be a busy week next week, guys, once we get back into the swing of things. Okay. So there's a discount code in this chat. It's called Christmas in the description. Use it in the checkout and you get 20% off your first month in the Platinum membership. The community in the Platinum membership is what makes hybrid system traders. I ain't just saying that. You're just going to end up having to check it out for yourself. And I know there's a gang of them right now in the chat. Mad love to Platinum chat, guys. Mad love to you all. As I was saying, how can you use the hybrid system to project out what the Bank of Japan's going to do? Well, you firstly need to say to yourself, what's dollar yen doing? Well, dollar yen is currently trading at significant levels, 157. This is consistent with Forex intervention. See green vector candles right there. I expect the dollar to try and clear that vector candle. Go into the weekly time frame. We have a look at that. And we can see that we have got the full recovery of the red vector candle. This is now Forex intervention. This is where Japan step in, okay? If the Bank of Japan's economy is not in line with its expectations, then they will increase their interest rates. But what they're seeing right now is, and as they are the largest holder of US debt, Federal Reserve is now pumping liquidity into the marketplace. What's that going to do? That's going to encourage investors to buy bonds. When investors buy bonds, what happens? The Bank of Japan's holding of US bonds inflates in value. So they're now making money. So they don't need to increase their interest rate just yet because they're effectively making a bit of a return on holding that debt. But they do need to do something about USD JPY. Now, the hybrid system shows you that it's recovered the vector candles. There's nothing left for them to do. We're due for a Forex intervention with Bank of Japan. Go down to the Japanese yen. We know that the Japanese yen itself is still coming down towards these significant levels, as you can see right here. That's the weekly time frame. Go down to the daily chart, and you've got one more vector candle. So that means I can project out that in the future, yen's going to go down and assets are going to go up. And that's going to be until they hit 0.006, because they're going to be using the Japanese yen to borrow money, right? And then convert it into dollars and then put dollars to work. And if that is too much pressure for them, and then the USD JPY keeps on going up, then that's when they're going to do a Forex intervention. But luckily for them, with this repo program that's currently coming into play, the bonds market should be moving up. So then that means they're effectively breaking even. It's really confusing, guys, but you'll get the gist of it. You'll get the gist of it. Tina, how come you don't put a stop loss on your trades and let it run? For example, that last trade, you were, instead of completely cutting or taking partials and leaving it a bit to run. Matthew, I have to monitor the trade. I don't like putting stop losses. It's as an active trader, right? As a day trader, I'm in and I'm out. It's for my psychology. I would have to see Bitcoin move really aggressively, okay, for me to put in a stop loss. And I'll only put in the stop to protect profit if I have no choice to leave the charts. I have to be watching the chart. I have to be. Because anything can happen. I'm telling you, anything can happen. What if the stop doesn't get hit? And that's happened to me many, many a times. I don't take the risk. It doesn't matter. For me, it doesn't matter. I won't take that risk. It's happened to me many a times. I doubt any of you have actually had to call your broker. Have any of you ever had to call your broker? No. I had to call my broker. I said to him, yo, why are you not closing my position? What's going on? Slippage. What, really? That much? 100 pips slippage? Wow. That happened, man. And that was with a stop loss, let alone a take profit or locking it in. Never mind. Anyways, any questions? Any questions? PC Shed. PC Shed, how you doing? Happy New Year to you, man. Yeah, it was a nice trade. It was a nice trade on Bitcoin. But stayed up all night, man. Didn't want to do that. It's the new year and I've got no sleep on me. But this consolidation, guys, listen, let me tell you this. If I leave you with this right here, guys, this is hybrid system 101. You guys just cost me money. Look at it. No, I'm joking. I don't care. It could go to 200,000 from here. Wouldn't interest me. Never mind. Tell a lie. That would really wind me up if it did. Anyway, I'm joking. Take this structure and in your spare time, study it. This is hybrid system 101. Okay. This is what I talk about with the platinum members. I discuss these sort of setups all the time. Okay. 101. Red vector candles to the left. Green and blue vector candles at the lows. Mark up to the upside is what you're looking for. Some of you might understand it to be like a cup with handle. But we trade the business model of the market. We can look at it from a visual point of view and say, yeah, it looks like a really big W formation. Okay. Nah, don't look at it like that. Look at it as who's been buying? They're right here. Now, what's that buying doing? Well, it's not doing much. Well, if they want to make a realization on the profit, what could they be doing? They could be marking prices higher. Green vector 1, green vector 2, green vector 3, blue vector 4, blue vector 5, green vector 6. Okay, so volatility is flat right now. This is where I took my trade. Right? So what's left for me to do? Applying the logic that the price is going to go back to this red vector candle. My exit in principle would have been the breach of the Asian session low and some. Trade back into the vector candles. That's all you need to do. Just study this. And I promise you, you'll see it again and again and again. And if you can't see it again and again, and you can't find it, you can't be trading because it's pretty easy to find. There's one right there. Red vector candles. You don't see the blue and green vectors on the 5-minute time frame, but it'll help you to go on the smaller time frames because you'll see the blue and green vectors in there. They shift it back up. Happy days. Is there another one? There's a little one right here. Happy days. Drops down, comes back up. Another one right there. Drops down, comes back up. What about this one? Comes down, comes back up. Isn't it mad how for every red vector candle, there's always a green vector opposite? Maybe not in this instance, but on smaller time frames there is. You're seeing the same thing. Now, these are small moves here, okay? These are small moves. But nonetheless, this was a bit of a tricky one. Stop in volume candle, green vector. Stop in volume candle, red vector. Shift out. There's a free course on the Traders Reality website, man. Go and take it. Go and take it. All right? Once you've taken that course, come on. Yeah, once you've taken that course right there, breaking down the hybrid system, you can take the scalp trading course. That's a paid one. And the trading exocharts one is also a paid one. But you see me scalping Bitcoin on that one. And you have a better understanding of how to do it. Okay? You'll become more proficient in the hybrid system. You take the scalping trading course and the trading with exocharts. It combines the two because that's exactly what I do with the two. I combine the two to help me understand what price is likely to do next, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Cool. Any other questions? 9 breaker. No sleep for 24 hours to make 25K sounds like a great trade-off to me. It is a good trade-off, my friend, but you know, I'm shattered. And that's the truth. I'm tired. New Year's Eve, I'm tired. Should be with my family as such. And I'm shattered. I don't want to be sleeping. So I'm going to go and buy some fireworks. I'm going to sit them next to me. Sam, you need to get the fireworks. Yeah. Sam needs to go. I ain't going nowhere, bruv. How do you keep your eyes healthy? That's how. I actually sit with the room red light, okay? Red lights all over the place. Switch off all these selfie lights. Slap these bad boys on. and we engage in the vectors. That's what we do. Tino, are you Mexican? I'm Greek, man. I'm Greek. Any other questions? Could they take... Isn't this 30 minutes? It could be the sign of a reversal. If you have that logic, take the trade and trade it. But look what's going on in the chart. It's moving up right now. It's pumping. Any other questions, guys, before we kill the day? Does the hybrid system work on 5 minute to 15 minute? Works on the 30-second time frame to the 415-year-old time frame. It works on any time frame. However, you've got to be careful, because the lower the time frame you use, the sooner something's going to happen. That means the less time you'll have to be in a trade. So you've got to use the smaller time frames to build the profile of what could be happening on the higher time frames. For example, you use the 30-second time frame to build a profile of what's going on the 5 minute time frame. You use the 1 minute time frame to build a profile of what's going on the 5 minute or the 15 minute time frame. You use the 5 minute time frame to build a profile of what's going on the 15 or the 30 or the hour time frame. Always build a profile on the smaller time frames and then take executions and follow what's going on the bigger time frames with the hybrid system. In other words, trade towards the vectors. Okay. What are my thoughts on alts coming in today's? The altcoin market. Listen, this story here with the repo right there is massive. Okay. Even though the markets are closed in that time. All right. The transaction itself, it means that there's going to be an injection of liquidity. So the banks are going to do what? They're just going to sit there and be like, we got money. So what do we do with it? Pum, pum, pum. Bitcoin, NASDAQ, S&P, Tesla. Tesla are declaring their earnings soon. They're tipped to hit 504,000 on deliveries. If they miss that, Tesla is dustbin. Down it goes. But Tesla traders are a little bit tricky, you know. What's the best place in Greece for a holiday? To not go to Greece, you go to Cyprus, because that's where I'm from. It looks all Greek to me. These are blue light blocking glasses, ladies and gentlemen. I've got these shades as well. These are the Dr. Vectors. Anyway, never mind. Mad love to you all. Listen, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a wonderful new year. Happy days to all the pattern watchers. And I will be checking in with you all next year. Stay safe. Don't trade. And sell XRP. Mad love and respect. Peace. I actually need to sell my XRP, man.